Hey everyone, welcome to Noah's Ark Fishing on YouTube and Shop Talk for this week. I'm Captain Noah Link
And I'm Captain Tanner Link.
and welcome. We are going to get on with the show right now. What we're going to be doing this week, we're going to be doing a recap of what we've been doing the last week. The fall fishing is really picking up here around Cape Lookout and Harker's Island area, and we're going to be getting into it. So Tanner, tell us a little bit about your trips this weekend and what's been going on.
Yeah, I had some good trips this weekend fishing the inside waters. I had a couple crews that wanted to focus extensively on fishing the marsh for red drum. We are getting a nice flood of those fish coming into our area right now, and fishing mostly, bases of oyster rocks, some coastal structure, docks, and things, and seeing some high numbers of these fish starting to show up. Size is going to be increasing this time of year. Doing a lot of live bait fishing, but also throwing a few artificials as well and having good success with that.
Okay, and as for me, Tanner's been out. At the same time I was, we got two boats running, and my primary focus while he was looking those big schools of drum, I was over on some trout schools, and we've been catching some really good gray trout. I picked up a few drum as well, and we were still able to pick up some flounder this weekend, so we really nailed in on that. And one of the soft plastics that I was using, and both of us for that matter, we've both been getting into this pretty good. But these bait fuel baits, what we got right here, whoa there, is the bait fuel. These gold glitter shrimp are working really good, as well as this black gold. Black gold in the jerk bait and the paddle tail working great, really good color. But been picking up a lot of big flounder, trout, drum, like I say, and Tanner, have you been using any of these? Tell us a little bit about it.
As he says, these bait fuels are great. This is one of my particular favorites for red drum. It's the white paddle tail. Comes in 3 inches on this size right here. This is ideal for some of your slot redfish that we like to target. You're just going to fish this thing very simply, slow on the bottom, slow retrieval. We're throwing this on basically a ½ ounce lead head with about a 1/0 hook on it, and having a lot of success, just a slow retrieve. And when those fish hit this, they're going to hit it pretty hard. And as I always tell folks, a drum strike, he's almost going to hook himself. So all you got to do is bump this thing slow along the bottom. What's wonderful about these is they have a slow release scent. You
Yes.
probably see the same thing with trout. They
Yes.
love this smell-driven bait.
So what this is these are, as he was showing you, the bait fuel. This is the latest and greatest in the soft bait scented bait technology. It's built primarily on amino acids, is what I am told from the guys at Bait Fuel. We do work for them, and we've been doing a lot of testing for about, I don't know, maybe 2.5 years now. So, and they haven't been on the market that long, but they're really, really hot. So, check these out. They're really good. Bait Fuel. They don't smell. They don't shrink. In other words, you don't going to mess your car up or your boat, or you can pre-rig them. They don't dry out, anything like that.
That's absolutely right.
Really good stuff.
As he says, that's one of the best things about them. They're durable. Not only do they not dry out, but you can catch multiple fish on these things before they start to degrade and fall apart, which is something that previous scented baits have had an issue with.
Right, right. And that's, going back to the scented baits, the previous, in the last 20 years, everything had smell on it. These don't smell. This is, like I said, this is the latest and greatest technology. So seriously, check them out. I'm going to move on to some of what we've been deep water jigging for these gray trout with. We've been picking up some really nice grays on the Clark Spoon products. We got the stick jig here, the diamond jig. Both of these are, they're really good. Good baits.
And you're just
Both
bouncing
of
those
these
slow off the
about
bottom,
an
right?
ounce and a half. Yeah, yes. As Tanner just said, we're bouncing these. These are for deep water jigging from probably 12 feet or so to about 20 feet, depending on the current. But yeah, this is vertical jigging. Those grays are really starting to show up good, so that's good, you know. And there's always a chance to pick up a lot of other stuff. Vertical jigging is a great way to present a bait to a fish. So you're going to be catching bluefish and trout. You probably hook a flounder or two. There's a lot of things like that. So
That's right.
you know, and Tanner, you know, tell us a little bit about these. You've been catching some false albacore.
Yeah,
on
been
these
seeing a
trips.
lot of false albacore. We've had some bad weather come through the area. If you've been along the Crystal Coast, North Carolina, or anywhere along the Outer Banks in the last couple of weeks, we've had some really high winds with some systems moving up the coast. That's disrupted some of our fishing a little bit, but we're starting to settle back into more predictable patterns now with the weather. False albacore starting to move back in. This right here is one of my favorite albacore baits. It's made by Game On Lures. It's the XO jig. This is a 3/4 ounce. I'm not sure how well that's showing up, but it comes in an option. This one has a treble hook, and it also comes in a single hook option. Now, one of the great things about all of Game On's products is that they come with high quality hooks. You know, if you are a fisherman out there, you know there's nothing wrong with buying, or nothing worse than buying a great lure that comes with cheap hooks. But Game On sends great hooks. We love the both options, but I am particularly starting to really like that single hook option for
Yeah.
the false albacore. I think that the catch rate is actually, believe it or not, higher than the treble hook. And just having a lot of success throwing that XO jig. Comes in all different colors. This one right here is one of my favorites, but it also comes in a really effective kind of a plain silver color. And all you're going to want to do for those false albacore when you see those birds working and that bait going is throw this thing across the school and rip it back to you as fast as you can.
Yeah, Tanner, I gotta say that's exactly right. You want to present that bait to them in the pattern that they're feeding, definitely. And one other jig before we wrap this up. One other false albacore jig is good for false albacore, Spanish mackerel, everything. Once again, it's got a single hook. We do use the Game On jigs, and these right here, the Clark Spoon new 1 ounce stick jig, is an awesome presentation tool. We carry both of these lures with us. We carry a ton of stuff because you never know when they're going to want it, how they're going to want it, when the tide is going to change and change things up. So you got to have what they want. With that, we're just about out of time, but we hope that we have presented this in a way that some people get some good information. Fall fishing is really taking off here in eastern North Carolina, from around Beaufort Inlet to Cape Lookout, Harker's Island, and all points in between. There is the area that we cover, and you know, it's going on. So get in on it. I'm going to turn this over to Captain Tanner. Thank you for watching, Tanner. What you got?
Hey, thanks for taking the time to check us out this evening. As he said, you know, our temperatures are falling. Fall fishing is here. It's starting to heat up. It's one of my favorite times of year. Come on down to Harker's Island if you're in the area. Come check us out. Noah's Ark Charters on Facebook, Instagram, noahsarkfishingcharters.com, and you can usually find Captain Noah or myself down at Cape Point Marina on Harker's Island at some point during the day. That's 1390 Island Road, Harker's Island. Come see us.
Thank you much. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time.